and welcome back to episode 4 of
The Closing Table.
I'm your lender bestie, Kyndal, with Apex Lending.
And I am Kayla. I'm a realtor in South Carolina and Georgia with Epic Realty.
Thank you so much for sticking with us through the first 3 episodes. We love that you're here. And I think last time we said that on episode 4, we were going to talk about what lenders wish agents knew.
And what agents wish lenders knew.
Yes. So you want to just go ahead and dive right in?
Might as well.
All right. So, who's going first? Who
Oh.
wants to go first? I don't know. You go first.
Okay. So I'll go first. So one big thing, I actually have 2.
Okay.
I have 2 that I really wish that lenders knew.
But not me, right?
Not you, but
we're going to preface. We're going to preface this to say
we're
that
perfect.
we work together like a well-oiled machine, and she basically has the same brain as me.
Yeah,
so,
you're like on the left and I'm on the right.
Exactly, yin and yang, baby.
Yeah, there it is. So one big thing that I really wish that lenders knew was, listen, when you're sending an email, when I'm sending you an email, I need a response. Even if it is a received thanks.
Like, you need to know, even if it's you're sending over a copy of the earnest money to the lender, a quick received thanks. It takes you 10
a
seconds.
received thanks, or just I'll look this over when I have time, anything like that. Because to be totally honest with you, email is only as reliable as USPS, which we know is not reliable.
Rain, sleet, or snow, they still gonna miss something.
They're gonna miss something.
So I get what you're saying. That added layer of confirmation.
Security. You've got it received thanks. I just need to know you opened it and you are going to get back to me, even if it's not right then.
Or even if it's not even like, I need to get back to you and say anything more than, I've got the document. Thank you for sending it over.
Listen, don't leave me thinking I got ghosted. Mm-hmm. It's rude.
And we look crazy too.
Psychotic. I will resend the email 5 times.
We'll double text.
I'm not joking.
For certain. No, I'm not. I'm laughing because it's funny because it's true.
It is true. I am known to be the one that just sends the same email over and over again. And then it'll be, did you receive my email? Did you receive my email?
Just following up on this.
Hey. Per my last email.
Per my last email. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of mine.
Valid.
Yeah, we're just going to go tick for tat at this point.
We definitely have ADD brains, so we had to write our things down. Okay, my biggest one. Oh my God, this drives me crazy when agents do this. And it's, man, send the client to me early. Do not call me and say, hey, I have a client for you. They've already looked at a house and they want to submit an offer, but they're not pre-approved.
So real quick, do you mean that I shouldn't be sending you the client when we're walking through the home talking about putting in an offer?
Without pre-approval?
Yeah, that's too late.
Girl, yes, that's too late because we don't know if that client is if that house is going to fit that client's financial needs. We don't know. Without a pre-approval, pre-approvals are important.
And so after we put in the offer, that's also too late.
Listen, I don't have anything to throw. I'd throw one of my mushrooms. I would never.
I thought you were.
No, I'm just kidding. Why'd you flinch? You're like a beaten child. Oh God. No, oh my God. Yeah. Don't call me and say, hey, I just submitted an offer for a client. Can you pre-approve them? I will literally curl into the fetal position.
Yeah, don't do that. And listen, that looks bad on your end. And I know there are a lot of clients that, we have that'll be, well, I don't want to go get pre-approved until I know what house I want. And, that's where your education comes in. That's where you educate. And
as a realtor, that's your job to say, okay, I know that you love this house from Zillow. You've looked at the pictures and I get it, but we don't want you to go walk through it and imagine your life in this house if you can't be pre-approved. Right. So like I was saying, you could be setting a client up financially for a house they can't afford.
Exactly.
And you're also letting them fall in love with a house and then finding out afterwards that they may not be able to get pre-approved for it. Yep. And then I'm the bad guy.
And I'm really glad that this is a hot take for you because this is something that gets talked about all the time. And it's a question that I get asked. Why do I have to get pre-approved for I can go see a house? Why do I have to get pre-approved for I want to put an offer on the house? I want to know what house I want before I get pre-approved and have my credit ran.
That's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So what I do as an LO is I do not pull a hard credit pull until we're under contract. I don't see any need in it. I tell all of my clients, what we're going to do is I'm going to stop for the soft credit pull. It will not show up as a hard inquiry. It will not affect your score whatsoever. It will allow me to see what I need to see for pre-approval purposes
Right.
without having to put an extra inquiry. However, if you're going through the process, just fun fact, if you didn't know, if you do end up getting your credit run for a hard pull, and you decide, a few days later, I don't really like my lender. I don't feel like this is a good fit for me, or I don't feel like I'm getting the service I deserve. And you go to another lender, or you come to me, your lender bestie. What we can do is there is a typically 14 to 45 day window where you can get your credit run multiple times, and the bureaus will see, okay, they're shopping for a mortgage. So they're not going to penalize you and give you multiple inquiry on inquiry on inquiry. And like I said, 45 days is usually the max, but to be safe, keep it to 14.
Yeah, and that's typically what I tell all of my clients. Listen, I completely understand if you want to shop around. Everybody has something else that they offer versus the other. Whatever you're going to do it within the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I deal with that situation on your behalf, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but it's a big deal for a lot of people because they're like, well, this is a big financial decision that I'm making.
Yep. And I get it, and that's where the education part of it comes in. And that's why I do things the way that I do them and start off with a soft pull, because they could change their mind and freak out. A lot of clients, when they're going to start this process, they start it and then they get freaked out and they get scared and they back out and they're like, okay, I don't really think emotionally I'm ready to purchase yet. And that's fine.
Right.
So starting with the soft pull, I think will always be the way to go, just because it gives the client that extra peace of mind, but it still allows me to price out a loan and issue a pre-approval with as close to accurate as possible information.
Right.
And every single soft pull I've done that we go under contract and then I do the hard pull, if the score is different, it's usually like a 5-point difference. It's not major. Now, if you go and you open a new credit card or any financial change that, have your credit run for any reason, open any new lines of credit, it depends on how long it takes.
Right.
But let's say you open a new credit card and then you miss the first monthly payment.
That's a problem.
And your score drops 40 points. That affects your whole loan.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do about that?
Cry.
Yeah.
Rub my temples.
Yeah. So absolutely, definitely. If you're out there, you're wanting to even think about buying a home, go ahead and speak to a lender.
Yes.
And you can always speak to an agent first, but just know we are going to direct you to a lender.
And hopefully direct them to us early.
Yeah. And I like to tell my clients it's the same thing as going grocery shopping. Are you going to go grocery shopping without a budget? Or
a list?
Yeah. You're just going to get up to the cash register and card on decline because you don't know how much you have.
Oh, God. I would be so embarrassed.
It's the same
I've been there.
Yes, but why are you going to go and make a purchase without knowing how much your budget is?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and budget out for Christmas dinner without the budget.
Yeah.
I
think I got $20 in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
I can get a turkey.
Turns out you got $12.50.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it. Same thing.
Yeah. So that's my biggest one.
Yep.
Please, agents, always send the clients to me first. Have the conversation. Have your buyer's consultation. You need to have that so that when you call me, you say, hey, I have this client. This is what they're looking for. This is what they hope to achieve. If you tell me that, okay, I talked to this client and they have a larger family, they are looking for something with at least 4 bedrooms, the property criteria, it does matter, because if you tell me they're looking for a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house in a safe neighborhood with an HOA and all the different things, that affects the price of the home.
Yeah.
It definitely could. So getting that criteria and then saying to the buyer, okay, all of this is really great information. Let me get you over to my lender just so we can go ahead and get the pre-approval process started so we can shop smart.
And here's the craziest part about it, and this is about to blow every realtor's mind. We make it so easy. You ready? How you feel this? Group text.
Every time.
3-way call.
Yeah.
FaceTime.
Oh, I love it.
They're so easy.
Oh, but don't always FaceTime me, because 9 times out of 10
I would text you first.
Right. You'd have to give me a couple hours notice, because 9 times out of 10 I work from home.
You look like Adam Sandler on the daily.
I sure do. I sure do. I rock it. And some clients, they here for it.
Yeah.
They don't mind me with the bun in my hair that looks like the Trunchbull from Matilda. Because it does. It looks like that.
We're going to put a picture of that right here.
No.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. She just
No,
doesn't know.
but yeah, I mean, group chat, I tell all of my agents, especially the agents that I'm working with for
Mhm.
the first time. Honestly, the best way that I prefer to
Mhm.
get the communication started is throw us in a group chat.
Yeah.
Hey, client, this is my lender bestie, Kyndal. She's awesome. She's going to answer any questions you have. You guys can figure out a time to get on a call, get the application
Yeah.
started, all the
It
things.
eases your client, especially your first time home buyers, it
Hmm.
eases them into it, and it makes it to where they don't have to make that first call,
Exactly. Because
right?
reaching
Because
out to a lender is scary.
they're nerve-wracked already. I
Yeah.
mean, it was rough, having the buyer consult with you. You've done, made them comfortable with you.
Hmm.
Now you've got to go and be like, "Hey, you need to go open up the financing window.
Here's
Do
a new
this."
person to talk
Yeah,
to.
go ahead and call them. Odds are they're going to be sweating their ball sack.
Yeah.
They're sweating
Yeah.
their ball sack trying to make that
Yep.
phone call. So it works a lot better, and I can almost hear the relief when I'm in my consult,
Hmm.
and I'm like, "Hey, listen, it sounds like you were looking for this, and this. I've got a great lender that I can send you to. She's Kyndal. She's this. She's that. She's amazing. She's going to walk you through with it, and you're going to be great friends by the end."
Hmm.
And I'm like, I tell you what, I am not just going to throw you into that. I'm going to do a group text, an introduction on both sides,
Hmm.
so that y'all can set up something, and I'll still be there. If you want me
Yep.
to be, I can still be there. Or y'all can take it from there.
It's like when your mom walks you into
Kindergarten
kindergarten
for the
on the
first
first day
time.
of school and she's holding your hand. And it's like, it's okay. There's friends here.
Yeah.
And then she just like silently backs away and
Yeah.
leaves,
And then
runs for her
and
life.
then you look through the door, you're like, "Where's my mom?"
But it's okay because you're going to be having so much fun with your lender
But you
bestie
won't
that you
even
won't
know.
even realize that.
Yeah. But I can hear the relief in their
Yeah.
voice. And so when I do, now 9 times out of 10, don't just do that with your lender. Go ahead and give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then be like, "Hey, I'm going to send you X, Y, and Z
Hmm.
over." Go ahead and do that introductory text. It also helps to keep the agent in the know. So now
Yes.
we know, okay, they've scheduled a call for tomorrow at 12.
Hmm.
And then 9 times out of 10, somebody is also going to follow up in that chat.
Exactly.
"Hey, such and such, thanks for the call today. It was great speaking with you. I should
Hmm.
have, all of your documents, blah, blah, blah."
And then we already have that group chat that we can use. I mean, the first one we did together, we
Yeah.
did that. And we had that group chat literally until after closing.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back and reference that. It's not just an introductory and that's it. So, say we're getting, we're in the final days
Hmm.
and something detrimental is coming up. If you need everyone to know something, you need it quickly. "Hey, I just wanted to let you know by Monday we need blah, blah, blah."
Right. And
"Kyndal, are
listen,
you on board with that? Such and such, are you on board with that?" Great, awesome. Here we go.
And listen, if you ever something happens, your phone updates or
Mhm.
you accidentally swipe and delete it, don't worry. I keeps receipts. If you ever need anything,
Same.
yep, you'll never catch me
Well,
slipping.
5 years.
Yep, I'll keep.
Period.
I think I still have texts from like 2014. Now they're like from family members, like
Okay, that's
cutesy little
different.
things.
That's
But
different. But
listen, I mean, I'll keep a T screenshot for at least 5 years.
yeah.
So that was my first one, lender sending clients to me early.
Mhm.
But another big one that I have, and this one kind of drives me crazy with agents, not with you, obviously, because
I'm perfect.
we do things the same. And we know that deadlines are real, not suggestions.
Oh, geez. People
Oh
really
my
think those are
God.
suggestions, don't they?
Like, I had one time and the client was not paying for the appraisal.
Mm.
And we were like 10 days after the conditional approval at this point, and I've been following up with the client like multiple times a day. Hey, we really need to get this appraisal in. If you don't pay for it today, there could be a chance of delay in closing. Because with the appraisal, we have to go by the appraisal deadlines, and we don't have an appraisal due date until the appraisal has been paid for, accepted by an appraiser, and scheduled.
Yeah.
So once we get that, then we know, okay, we have until this date for the appraisal to come in. That gives us this many days until we can close
Right.
to stay within compliance guidelines. So this particular instance, I was reaching out to the agent, completely non-responsive. Hold your client accountable. These deadlines are real and they can upend a transaction. They can delay a closing. They can put us into a new month, which, as we know from one of our previous episodes, can change your cash to close.
Mhm.
So when I say, hey, I need XYZ by this date, I need XYZ by this date. Now, obviously, things can happen. Things can
Right.
come up, like that crazy one-off scenarios.
Yeah.
But those deadlines are there for a reason, to keep the process smooth.
Right.
So That's another big one for me.
Yeah. I mean, everything's a deadline. I mean, and if you think about it in life, we have deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
There's
If you don't
deadlines
pay
with
your
work,
light
your
bill
kids. It's
by the due
deadline.
date, your lights are getting cut off.
Yeah, I mean, everything is a deadline. So why, when we get into a real estate transaction, do people just automatically think like,
Oh, it'd be fine.
hey, it'll be all right. We don't have to. It's the biggest
Yeah.
transaction of your life.
Yeah.
Why would you even want to risk that?
I don't know.
Why would you want to? And
I have too much anxiety to
and
risk
listen,
it.
for agents, respectfully, nobody asked you to get in this business.
It's literally your job.
It's your job and you wanted it. You fought to get here. You went through school. You went through exams. You got fingerprinted. You got background checked. Like, you do your
Yep.
CE every, 2 to 5 years, depending on where you are.
Oh,
And
God, I
now
have to
we
do
get
CE
this-
every year.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It's every 2 years or every other year in Carolina, and then every 4 years in Georgia. And then last year we had to do both at the same time because how they fell.
Oh.
Yeah. But
Well, I can't.
therefore, I don't think anything's a suggestion.
Yeah,
It's pretty required.
they're real.
Yeah. My renewal date, I wasn't a suggestion.
Right. If I don't
Yeah.
renew my LO license by
not
a
a
certain
suggestion.
date, I don't get to be your lender bestie.
They said the 2nd, but they meant the 5th. That's fine.
No. Oh, my
It'll be all right.
God.
It's all right. Don't worry about
Another
it.
one that drives me a little bit crazy, and this, I mean, it's still a deadline, obviously. So when homeowners think, okay, so my mortgage statement says that I don't have to pay my mortgage payment until the 15th. It's due on the 1st, but technically
You pay the 14th and a half.
I mean, I get it. Like, if life happens, but when you do that every single month, that, as a lender, just because I know what the financing looks like from the inside out, it bothers me, only because you're just paying more interest.
Yeah, that's an additional 15 days of interest.
Yeah.
Yep. And your interest is, let's just say, is 5.99.
But if your daily interest is, let's say, $80 a day, multiply that by 14 or 15. Let's just say 14 days from the 1st to the 15th.
Right.
To make your mortgage payment. Let me pull out my handy dandy calculator, because that's $80 a day times 15. That's $1,200. Did I do that math right? Let me double check my math, because I like to double check. 80 times 15. Yeah, I was right. $1,200 that did not go towards your principal balance on your mortgage. That was interest.
Right.
You could have, I don't know. Don't get me started.
Regardless, why would you want to pay more that you don't have to? Why?
Right.
Why? Listen, inflation is high. Gas is high. I filled up today. $3.79 a gallon.
That hurts. And you have a little
$3.79.
car too, but I bet it was a lot more expensive than it was at $2.79.
So typically,
$2.89.
listen, you know how everybody talking about that $20 don't $20 no more?
Yep.
Well, my car's still $20. But and these gas prices, it was $25. I know.
But hey, that's an increase. That's still an increase.
It is, but it is an increase. So I mean, in this day and age where really every penny counts, why take the risk?
Make your money work for you, not the other way around.
Exactly.
I say that about everything all the time, because it's important.
Yeah.
I mean, you work hard for your money. You don't want to throw it away.
Yeah. And what I would love to see, and I'm not a lender, I'm so sorry, but I mean, what I would love to see is you making 2 payments a month.
Oh my gosh.
I would love
Or
to.
this is something else that I tell all of my clients that are worried about, building equity fast. So the way you build equity is you knock some chunks off of the principal balance of your loan.
Yep.
As your property value continues to appreciate.
You better tell them what I tell them.
So what I tell all of my clients is take your monthly payment for your mortgage.
Divide it by 12.
Divide it by 12, whatever that number is, add it to your monthly payment every month. And that is an extra payment a year.
Yep.
And you just shaved years off your mortgage.
Yeah. Okay. So if your payment is originally $900 a month, if you divide that by 12 months, it's an additional $75 that you are going to pay a month. So
and I know y'all are spending that.
You're paying $975.
Right. And I know you're spending $75 a month at Starbucks.
And if you're not paying it now
Cookout.
and you wait until the 14th, you're going to pay it in interest.
Yep.
It's so you might as well. So why not? Because if you take that additional one payment, divide it by the 12, you're shaving off how much? How many years?
7 years.
7 years. So do
of
you
a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah. So do you want to take off 7 years of your 30-year mortgage, or do you want to pay an additional $75 just in the interest?
Because what you're doing is you're just stretching out your amortization schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. Make your money work for you. And I mean, listen, if you got to cut back Starbies, You're gonna come back starving.
Listen, you can make that coffee at home.
And it's so much better. I'm a coffee snob, though.
I am
I'm a coffee
too.
hoe.
Since I got that, oh my God, I'm a slut for a good iced coffee.
Oh, God.
Oh,
It's rough.
sorry if that was inappropriate, but
Have you tried the Chobani creamers?
I love the Chobani creamers. But listen, I bought a cheap espresso machine from Walmart, and it works so well. And
Yeah.
I make my shaken espressos, and I do my own cold foam.
Oh.
And I have all the syrup.
Oh, stop.
And it saves me so much money.
We're in the middle of a podcast. Stop.
I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you excited.
Mercy Christ. Okay, back on track.
But you had a second thing that you wish lenders knew as an agent.
I do. And listen, I'm just going to skate by this one real quick because I do think that we are getting better at this. I think that, as our generation is coming to be able to purchase, I think that we're getting a little bit better at the explanation of things. So it is for lenders to explain things in layman's terms. Talk to humans like humans. They're not spreadsheets. You don't always have to talk in spreadsheet. Not you.
Yeah.
Not you.
I do love to talk in a spreadsheet, but
Listen,
only to those that also speak spreadsheet.
Right. But listen, if your first language is spreadsheet, I need you to learn new language because buyers do not speak spreadsheet, right? They don't speak decimals. They don't speak number. They speak, can I afford this? How much is my monthly payment? What does this mean? So explain it to them. Explain it to them like they are people because at the end of the day, they are people. They're not numbers.
And explaining to them guidelines in a way that they can understand.
Yeah, what is that guideline and why? Like, don't just tell them what it is. Explain why. Like, we're trying to create retention, right? I want them to be able to go when they purchase their next home and say, hey, I've done this before. I remember exactly what it is. I know what amortization schedule is, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like
okay, cool. Now, I know you don't need me to go through all that. I still will if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Of course.
But I don't have to break it down because you already know, and that saves everybody some time.
Right. We should be able to educate.
Right.
I really do feel
if
like
you
that
need
is
the
part of our job.
education, that's what we're here for.
We should be able to educate.
Right.
Okay, that's it. That's my soapbox.
So I kind of want to go back to say I'm really glad that you brought up gas prices, and I'm not going to punch you in the face. The fact that you can fill up your tank for $25.
Real sorry if you can't, but
I saw somebody post on Snapchat the other day that it took them $110 to fill up their truck.
I saw that,
and that hurt my heart.
You know how bad I feel when people say that 20 don't 20 no more because my 20 still be 20.
Just a little $5 extra.
Yeah,
but I'm really glad you brought up gas prices because everything that's happening in the world right now that you're seeing on the news, that you're hearing on the radio, that you're watching on TikTok, it brings up a really good point that I wanted to elaborate on. Everything happening right now with oil and with gas prices, that also affects mortgage rates. Because what happens when not only are we having issues when it comes to oil prices, but when we are impending war, that is going to affect mortgage bonds.
Yeah.
People are pulling money out of their bonds, moving them to other asset accounts. That makes the mortgage bonds get shaky.
Right. And if you have a stock portfolio and you've checked it this week, you have seen this.
Yes. And when the mortgage bonds start to get a little nervous, rates are going to spike up.
Yeah.
Quickly. I mean, I saw a rate increase happen within 3 hours the other day. And it about gave me a heart attack.
Yeah.
Made me shake a little bit in my pants, not in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, I told you when I got the email saying that interest rates had went from, what was it, like 5.6 to 5.995. I was like, ugh, and that was just in a couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
It can happen so fast. So anybody that has questions or wondering or getting irritated or surprised when, oh my God, my lender just told me last week that my rate was going to be a 5.75 and now you're telling me that I have to spend over $2,000 to get that rate?
Yeah.
This is why.
Yep.
When things are happening in the economy, when things are happening with stocks, it affects your mortgage rate. Mortgage-backed securities is... Look it up.
That is why it is so good to have a good lender in your corner.
That keeps an eye on rates.
Not to give you a big head or anything. Not to give you a big head.
It's big in the best way.
Oh,
it's
Lord,
okay.
Christ. Well, and I am glad that you kind of touched on that. And, I don't want to go too deep into that, you know, because we're keeping this light. We're keeping this airy.
Yes.
But at the same point, it needs to be talked about. Because we're not talking about it. We're not educating.
Exactly.
All right. That's my soapbox. Your
soapbox. I'm stepping off.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and transition from this Debbie Downer of a conversation.
Right. To something a little more fun. Yes. So next time we are going to play Red Flag, Green Flag, Homebuyer Edition.
Ooh.
So We're going to have our little flags. We're going to have our lovely guest speaker, my husband, read off the questions for us. And we're going to hold up our red flags and our green flags. And hopefully it'll be super educational. And it will definitely be a lot of
God
fun.
willing and the creek don't rise.
God willing, the creek don't rise. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in for the next one. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, if you have loved all of these episodes up to 4 and you're still here, we truly appreciate you.
You're our besties now.
We appreciate you. And if you could like, comment, subscribe,
Share.
all the things.
We want to reach all the people. We want to help as many people as we can, whether that's
Absolutely.
by education or just helping you not feel alone in this crazy world and this crazy industry.
Yeah.
We're spreading love, so help us spread it.
Yeah, and if you have any questions along the way, drop them in the comment sections. Any type of questions, rather they range from, how do I go and get a line of credit for a home? Because I've had somebody ask legitimately just like that. How do I open up a line of credit for a home? Go ahead and ask that. Go ahead and ask that question. It's not stupid.
Yeah, no question is a dumb question.
Yeah, exactly. How much am I going to pay a month on this home? Ask it. It doesn't work like that, but ask it.
Yeah. I say no. Sorry, I kind of zoned out there. I was thinking, no question is a dumb question. I said that. But if you call me and say, how do I buy a house for $3 and bring no money to the table? I'll be like, girl.
I'm going to think that's satire. I ain't even going to lie.
Yeah. I'd be like, are you serious right now? Like,
BFFR.
BFFR.
Yeah. So, any questions that you have, even if it's down to like, what color does wall? She don't know. She has no clue. But what color does wall?
It's, oh God.
Do you know the actual color?
Muted sage.
Well, see, now you can't ask in the comics. She
Don't
knows
ask that
you.
question.
It's muted sage.
I did a lot of research on this wall color before I did it.
What's the brand?
Sherwin Williams.
Always Sherwin Williams.
Always.
Listen, if you're going to paint your house this spring, if you're doing a spring refresh, Sherwin Williams paint.
Ask Sherwin Williams for all your paint needs, but ask the closing table for all your real estate and lending needs.
Yeah, and before you rip out your kitchen, let me know so I can tell you if you're going to price yourself out.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye. Hi.
Hey, and welcome back to episode 3 of The
Closing Table.
I'm your lender bestie.
It's episode 4.
Oh, shit.
It's episode 3. Damn.
Good blooper.